Hey guys, I'm back. Today I'm going to actually work on the eyes. I was getting some feedback that my eyes are the wrong color for Billy Bob. That the eyes that are actually on my character are actually for a beach bear. So today we're going to work on swapping out the eyes. So let's take a look here. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to remove the pin and just take a pair of pliers and basically slide the pin out of the eyelid. It takes a little bit to kind of work it in, but just kind of work with it. You may need a couple different types of pliers. One that has a nice grip on there just to kind of pop it out. But the pin should come out, and once you have that, you can go ahead and start removing the cylinder. So just kind of push that out of the way. So just take an Allen wrench and you're going to just undo the little set screw. There's two set screws there. There's actually one on the silver collar and then there's one on the black collar. So basically just undo those set screws and just kind of leave everything where it is for now. Then what you're going to do is you're going to actually turn the eyeball sideways. You'll see the eyeball is not all round, and it's designed that way so you can remove the eyelid. So you're just going to squeeze on the eyelid just very carefully. You'll see the one side popped out already, and then you're going to turn the eyelid around the other direction. And you're going to do the same thing. You're just going to squeeze the eyelid, and then it should just come right off. So the next thing you're going to do is just, very carefully make sure nothing is touching, and then just go ahead and just remove the eyelid, the eyeball with all of the washers that are attached. Those are just 1/4 inch washers, so you can just remove the whole assembly. Yeah, the beach bear eyes that were on here, you can definitely tell they had some wear on them. They actually had a little bit of a cut mark towards the bottom, which is kind of odd because that little groove there doesn't line up with anything. I thought maybe it was rubbing against something, but there's really nothing there to rub, so I don't know if that was I don't really know why that happened, but that's okay. Next thing I would do is just, like I said, I'm big into sanding. Just take a little sanding block, like 180 grit is fine, just to kind of get all of the grime off of there. You'll have a nice smooth surface to reseat the eyeball on. Like I said, you can just use degreaser and stuff as well. But sanding it just really gets any type of oxidation or little amounts of rust that have been on there throughout the years. So so moving along here, we'll go ahead and take the new eyeball, and I got brand new washers that I installed. Like I said, these are just 1/4 inch washers, 3 of them. So we'll just, no sense putting on the old ones. So we'll go ahead and we'll just take the eyeball and just put it into the aluminum head frame. And you're going to want to put it in sideways because we're going to have to reinstall the eyelid again. So basically take the first collar and put it on, and then take your second collar, just kind of line it up, and then you're going to want to give the collar just a slight amount of turn. Don't tighten it all the way. You just need a little bit of snug, just so it grips it a little bit. You just there's going to be some adjustments you're going to have to do here. So go ahead and take your eyelid itself and just kind of put it onto one of the sides. And it should pop on. Might take a little bit, but just pop it on, and then you're going to basically have to rotate the eyeball so that way the other milled down side or cut side is available here. You'll see how that's the reason why the eyeball is actually cut and it's not all the way around, because it gives you excess room to pop the eyelid on. And just pop it on. That's it. No screws involved for the eyelid. Just carefully turn the eyeball around, make sure nothing's touching. Just kind of, you know, I was just kind of being cautious, just moving the eye and just making sure there wasn't any touching or any tolerance issues. And then you're going to have to do some adjustments for the actual eyeball to make sure that it does have enough, you know, it is in the right position. And this is going to be kind of a little bit of dance you'll do. You'll have to tighten, retighten, and just to kind of get it to look exactly the way it should look. I don't actually have the official specs, but I just made it look like the left eye as far as the spacing is concerned. But you're going to want to pay attention to the spacing, do the adjustments, and just kind of make it look correct. And then you're basically going to start, you're going to connect the armature, the bottom sleeve armature, and just go ahead and connect that, and then just set use the other Allen screw there, Allen set screw, and just basically snug that up. And then once that is snug, you can go ahead and you know, move the eye back and forth, make sure nothing's touching. He really looks crazy. He looks crazy now having the two color eyes. I actually like that having the two color eyes, the light blue and the dark blue. It actually looks really neat like that. But you can see the color difference. You couldn't really notice the color difference of the white, but you can definitely see the white on the original eye is much yellower than the new eye. So then you're just going to go ahead and rehook up your cylinder. Just take your pin and just align it back up. Once again, you know, I sanded my pins before I put them back in there. I actually took the sandpaper to them just to make them nice and smooth, but you're still going to probably need a little bit of pair of pliers or stuff. And please note, when I'm doing this, I'm actually squeezing against the metal aluminum frame. I am not squeezing the plastic at all. Do not squeeze the plastic. Just squeeze against the metal aluminum frame. And it should just pop right back in there. So here we have Mr. Crazy Eyes here. Yeah, it just looks really neat having the two different color eyes. I don't know. I kind of like that. But yeah, I'm just testing the armature manually. I don't have any air applied right now, just making sure there's nothing that's touching, making sure everything is moving correctly. So I just went ahead and I just kind of aired him up here, just to kind of take a look at him, what he looks like when he's aired up, and the eyelids are securely in place. And so, yeah, I mean, he looks pretty good. Just did a couple little tests here just to make sure everything is still correctly moving. And once again, I'm not having any kind of rubbing issue or anything like that, so that looks good. So I think we're ready to move on to the other eye. So let's do the left eye. We're going to do the same procedure. We're basically going to pop out the pin. And this one's going to go a little faster because I kind of know what I'm doing now. I didn't really know exactly what I was doing the first time around. So just going to go ahead and pop out your pin. And then you're going to remove your two Allen screws, your set screws actually, using an Allen wrench. I'll tell you, these robots are very, very nice to work on. They just have, you know, it's pretty easy to understand it once you actually get in the habit of working on things. So you're going to go ahead and turn the eyeball, just kind of turn it in the middle so you can get that all into position. And then you're going to go ahead and squeeze Squeeze the eyelid, and one side should come up, and then you're gonna rotate the eyeball the other direction so you have the space, and bam, it just pops right off. The eyelid just pops right off there. Very easy, very nice. Then you're just gonna go ahead and remove the old eyeball with all of the old washers. Set that aside. Go ahead and clean everything up. Just give a little wipe down, and then you can also, like I said, you can also take the sanding block and actually do a little bit of sanding there, just to kind of polish it off, to kind of remove any oxidation or remove any residual rust in case you have that. And then, you know, like I said, I like using acetone, so I use acetone just to kind of clean the grease and stuff off. I think when I did the other eye, I didn't actually show, but I didn't show on camera that I did this, but I did actually do the same procedure where I used acetone to kind of clean up all of the areas that had grease. And then I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to do the same procedure. We're going to basically take the new eyeball with the new 3 washers, 1/4-inch washers, and basically just put that into the metal eye or the metal frame, and then take your Allen wrench and just do a very light tighten on that set screw. You don't have to go too tight on there because you're going to still have to do some adjustments. Then you're going to take your eyelid, just simply put it into one side, and then spin your eyeball around to give you the extra space. So you got to spin it around so the cut side is, because remember the cuts, the milled, like they used a mill machine to mill the eyeball, but the reason why it's not round, once again, is to give you that extra space. So please use that to your benefit. Don't try to put the eyelid back on and force anything. It will all work and fit nice and smoothly if you just follow along. So then you're just going to go ahead and you're just going to start, you know, giving a little bit more tightness to your Allen set screws. So that first collar is nice and tight, and then you're going to put on your second collar, which is the actual armature itself. So get your armature kind of lined up, and once again, you're going to make sure that, you know, for adjustment wise, that the eyes look like they're in the correct position in the relaxed state. I do not have any air applied, so this is all in a relaxed state right now. So I'm just trying to get an idea of what the eyes look, and I'm just taking rough measurements from the outside of the purple sleeve to the inside of the blue eye part. I'm sure there are official specs in this. Like I said, I just don't have a manual. Eventually I'll buy a manual. when I'm done, maybe I'll buy a manual, I don't know. But for now, I'm just, you know, just trying to do this all without a manual. But I think I'm doing pretty well. Plus, I do appreciate the help from the community. Everyone has been great with helping me throughout this process. So I'm just basically tightening everything up, and then I'm ready to pop the pin back in. Once again, I sand all my pins when I remove them. So I just gave it a quick sand again, and then we're going to go ahead and just basically push that pin back in. I had to use pliers once again on this, so we'll just go ahead and we'll just take a pair of channel lock pliers and just against the metal. This is not squeezing the plastic. I am not squeezing the plastic eyelid. I'm actually applying pressure to the metal. So we'll go ahead and we'll air him up here, and there he is. He is there. And we'll just do a couple little tests just to make sure that everything is good. Once again, I'm checking for tolerances, making sure nothing is touching the eyeballs themselves. Everything is nice and clean. So that's it, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. Like I said, I'm taking this really slow and trying to do everything the right way here. So let them rest for a while and come on back for more of my videos. Take care, everyone.